Hi guys, I'm back with a bit of a different video for me. I have here two different Dingbats notebooks. Now, as you probably know from Instagram and things, I go through a lot of different bullet journals. I go through them quite quickly, and while I have my go-to notebooks, I've been trying to branch out a little bit. So a while ago, when I was thinking that I needed to have another one on the shelf spare, I ordered this, which is the sort of original notebook from the wildlife collection. A lot of people have had different versions of this notebook that I've seen on YouTube and Instagram, and they all rave about the paper and how wonderful it is. And I thought, well, I'll give it a go. And when I got it out and I was like, I don't like the feel of the cover. I don't. And the elastic's quite tight. And then I opened it up, and I don't know if you can see from here actually, there's like a dent all the way across, and every single page, for like the first bit, has got like a dent in the corner. I was like, that's really annoying. And I was like, the paper's okay. And I was like, tested out a few things. And I decided actually what I'd probably do is kind of have this on the shelf as like a practice spread one. I have a moleskin notebook, I have a B5 notebook, and I have an A5 Leuchtturm that sit on the shelf purely for me to practice things in, because that was taking up a lot of my early bullet journals was taking up with practice spreads. So this then became a practice notebook. This is larger than A5, and it's 28 squares wide as opposed to 26. So if I compare it to my current Leuchtturm, you can see it does go over quite a bit. So yeah, it's a straight notebook. It's not numbered, it's just dot grid. There's no numbers or anything. I've gone through and put them in myself. One ribbon marker. Yes, there's a pocket at the back, but if you're comparing it to things like the Leuchtturm and the Scribbles Matter notebooks, it's missing a few of those basic features that make bullet journaling a lot easier. So this is kind of sat there. I've done a few spreads in it that I think could work, and I ummed and ahed and thought, well, maybe I'll get one at some point. Then they announced this new collection. So this is the Earth collection, which has some new features that are more associated with bullet journaling, and there are 3 colours. And the thing that I really like is it has a very different cover, and the cover actually feels quite nice, so that made me happy to start off with, and the fact it's orange. Anyway, they have 3 colours. They have tangerine, which is this, they have sky blue and a lime, and each one of them represents a national park somewhere in the world. So this one is Serengeti, the sky blue one is the Great Barrier Reef, and the lime one is, bear with me a minute, I did write this down, I might just need to check a moment. Yasuni, that's it, Yasuni National Park. So they have a lot more bullet journal features, but they have obviously taken it and made it their own. And already the elastic on this is looser as well, which makes me quite happy. Very sad thing, I know. Anyway, on the inside, you have the inside cover is dedicated to information about the national park and things about it. So people, tribes, animals that live there, things like that, what we can perhaps do, research into it. So it's a unique information point about that park. Then we get into the the features, shall we say. So this is a tab key. Now the tabs I've not seen on any other notebook. I've seen people create their own on different YouTube channels and things, but I don't know if you can see on camera, I can't even work out that's picking it up. There are tiny little, they're sort of like fingernail sized half circles on the edge of the page that are spaced between each of these lines that you can colour in. So you could have all of June, all of July, all of August, different colours. You could have home, planning, work, whatever. You could do your own thing. And that's quite exciting because I've wanted to try this, but I the thought of doing it freehand has scared me. With this structure, I think I could definitely feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. Space for a colour key, and obviously like your bullet key, what you use for different things. And then we have an index, 3-page index. Big thing, numbered pages, saves going through and numbering a notebook, which I quite like. After your index, you get 2 pages that are designated as the future log. They are also printed with sort of guidelines to help you space things out nice and neatly. So there is a line across here that gives you like a 2 square header, and then you can either divide your page vertically or horizontally, depending on how you want to do it. And the 2 double pages are spread like that. And then everything else is plain dot grid paper with those little half circles down the side, and numbered pages, which is quite exciting. Very sad, but once you've been through a notebook and numbered every single page, the thought of notebooks coming pre-numbered does make you quite happy. Sad little detail there. And the other thing as well is you get 2 ribbon markers, which is quite nice, and they're really nice. I really like them. They feel nice to kind of run your hands over, which is very, very sad. Sorry. Other thing as well, in the Wildlife Collection notebooks, all the pages are perforated down the spine, so you can pull them out. In this one, they are not. The back, I would say, half a dozen maybe are, but then the back few are in the Leuchtturm as well. So that's kind of fairly standard. And I've obviously had to go with a few pens. I haven't done lots yet, because this is going to sit on the shelf for a while. I'd like to think more than a month. It's going to sit on the shelf for a while, and so I've just kind of gone for the basics. So I've done my Papermate Biro, which is like my go-to pen. I've done my Inkjoy gel pens because I've started writing in those again, and I've kind of finally fallen in love with the gel pen and seen what all the fuss is about, even though I've had them a while. And then this highlighter is a proper chunky Stabilo highlighter, because they can quite often bleed through without even realising it. And as you can see, while there is a little bit of ghosting, which doesn't bother me, there is no bleed through, which is quite nice. And I did a little colour in with my mild liners on the tabs there. So whereas before I was a little bit, I think disappointed is the right word. I was a little bit disappointed when I first got my wildlife notebook. The Earth Collection notebook makes me really quite excited to start using it. And yeah, it's orange as well, which, as we know by now, is an added bonus. So anyway, I hope that might have been helpful or useful for someone. It is a bit different video for me. Normal service will be resumed soon anyway. Any questions or anything, feel free to pop them in the comments below. And obviously once I get started in this thing, you will see it over Instagram in all its lovely orangeness. Oh, I know what other thing I was going to show you. Sorry, brain on a different track. Okay. You probably know I keep my notebooks in my Foxy Fix Traveller's notebook. So Scribbles Matter fit in here, the Leuchtturm fits in here. I've even put my Compact Passion Planner in here at times, just because I like being able to carry it around like that. And this is, as I've already shown you, a bigger notebook. But I have threaded the spine previously. I'm not going to do it now because it does take a bit of a faff, but if I put that in there, you can see, even though it is bigger than an A5, it still just, and I mean just, fits inside my Foxy Fix, which makes me very, very happy. So anyway, as I was saying, any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And once I start using it, you'll see it all over my Instagram and probably a couple of Plan With Me videos as well. So that's for now, guys. I will be back at some point with another video. See you soon.